tournament. 1-2 is this best-of-5 series. ASUS.Polar need 2 wins in a row to take it. Empire 1 victory away from that first-place prize.
All right, well, ASUS.Polar pull something a bit different out. Haven't seen a Spectre yet this tournament.
And
I don't think so. Illidan. We're going to see him with a pretty safe lane, just an off-lane Magnus, so not exactly a lane where he's going to get contested very much here. Yeah,
let's introduce some players here. Radiant side, we talked about the Illidan Spectre. It'll be FNG on the Vengeful Spirit once more. That puts Lil Hardy on the Dazzle again. DK Phobos takes the Brewmaster mid, and they'll have Mag off-lane, Night Stalker. Very similar draft to what ASUS.Polar did in the game prior.
Well, on the Empire side, we're going to see Resolution on the Tiny. EO being played by Aloha Dance. Always want to fly on the Shadow Demon. Silent on the center, leaving the offlane Magnus for yoky. Looking to secure that level 1 bounty rune up top. Probably Aloha who takes this so we can get that insta bottle. And also that faster level 2. Having level 2 fast on was actually really important so you can get the overcharge heals for the frontline Tiny.
So Magnus in the off lane can be a little bit difficult. Magnus not a hero that can rotate into the jungle too easily, at least not early on. So we'll see what yoky is going to be able to farm. He'll have his work cut out for him in the off lane, but what they will be able to do is get a fast Blink Dagger on this Centaur. Silent, farming away in the safe lane. Should have a pretty easy time against this Night Stalker, especially with Always Want to Fly. Backing him up on the Shadow Demon. Mid lane already. Initiation on to Lil Hardy. Resolution with an avalanche right away. Phobos level 1 skills the Drunken Haze to try to limit Resolution's farming power here in the mid. So it is going to be a dual lane mid. And Magnus skewer onto FNG. Could this be a potential first blood? Doing as much damage as he can. Won't find the kill, but trading a lot of damage and finding a victory there already.
Yeah, Illidan's like, I'm running forward just to take the tower if I need to make sure this goes okay. That was risky.
Risky business indeed. So, Brewmaster skilling the Drunken Haze first seems to be effective so far. Resolution with only a couple of last hits under his belt. Very irritating to deal with, but the problem here is the mana sustainability. Brew, not going to have the fastest bottle. And again, with a dual lane mid, that means his level 6 slowed down, and the Primal Split won't be coming out as early as he'd like.
Yeah, Empire much more equipped to deal with this one. And the Wisp Tiny, I feel, is at least an even matchup, and maybe a slight edge over the Brew Dazzle. I don't think either side should be getting kills here, but the Wisp is going to have the ability to keep Resolution sustained, so he can spam spells to farm, can harass, and just make it such a good time here. The Drunken Haze is one of those dicey things. It either works or it doesn't. It's just weird because so much comes down to RNG as far as whether or not Resolution gets last hits. He gets 2 in a row there. I guess the second one, I think he had the Drunken Haze worn off, but either way, he's got his boots up already.
Only 2 last hits behind DK Phobos at the moment. So let's compare the offlaners here. yoky on the Mag, 4-0, and Mag on the Night Stalker. It gets a little confusing there. Very even so far. Similar levels, both sitting near 3. Magnus about 1 creep kill away. But both of them off to an okay start. Might be a pretty quiet early game here, at least until Centaur gets that Blink Dagger. We'll see Always Want to Fly initiated on in the top lane. Getting kind of low, but Mag, I don't think he has too much solo kill potential.
No. Out of mana, but getting the Shadow Demon as far away from him as possible so he can... I mean, Shadow Demon is low in HP. He has to be a lot more careful about trying to harass and zone out Mag from this lane, but his ability to stay in this lane, much like yoky's at bottom, is suddenly gone. Without mana pool, doesn't really have much good sustain here. So both offlaners, they've got some decent early levels, got level 3, got a few CS here or there, but they're both going to have to either just kind of go find somewhere else to leech XP, go back to base to heal up their mana pools, or do something else. And that's kind of a... I mean, it's kind of matched up evenly between the 2 teams, so it's not like either team's getting more out of it, but both are kind of without a place right now.
Yeah, very even openers. Everyone's just farming away as we pass that 3-minute mark. So looking towards the late game, Tiny Spectre, 2 very strong late game heroes. How do they match up, Gods?
Tiny, obviously, amazing siege. I think it's a both teams have very different strategies in the late game. For Empire, it's look for those trades off with the split push, relocate Tiny into a team fight, look for kind of like a base trade type scenario, because Spectre does not push at all. For ASUS.Polar, it's going to be much more around the team fights, the kind of 5-man type Dota, with maybe Spectre farming lane with Radiance and then looking to haunt into the fight. So. To me, it's kind of just 2 different very strategic approaches. Tiny, as far as actual fighting goes, will have the edge over the Spectre with the Wisp backing him up, but ASUS.Polar, that team fight looks a bit scarier to me.
All right. Mag already leaving the top lane. He's soon to be level 4 and just looking to rotate around a little bit. First Knight coming up in about 15 seconds. 2 points in the Void, 1 in the Crippling Fear, so maybe they can try and set something up. Bottom lane, FNG. Will this be actually the first blood? yoky wants it. He's going in deep for it. Skewer's available. There it is. First blood drawn by the offlane Magnus in a 1v2. Feeds a death to Illidan, but secures that bit of bonus gold.
Holy moly. That's good for your Magnus, but also at the same time good for your Spectre. Spectre going to have phase boots already, gets a solo kill, so this gets Illidan up to level 5 now, so almost an even trade in some ways. Despite First Blood being a lot more gold, this is your Spectre. Getting Spectre a fast level 6 with phase boots, this hero is not going to just farm. Illidan is going to be looking to join his team for the first few, or like Brewmaster's first split, Spectre probably shows up to help secure the kill. Illidan is going to be very active while trying to farm his Radiance.
All right, so now rotation to the top lane. FNG as well as the Dazzle rotating to support Mag, and I think they want to try a gank on Silent. The Centaur's been farming away, already has Tranquils, 900 gold towards the Blink Dagger here at the 5-minute mark. A great time to try and shut him down, especially during night.
And they know there's no lane ward. They had the sentry down. If you TP up here or rotate up here and there's a lane ward, you've just wasted all your time. So they sentry, just to check it, clear it out, and then now are going to go looking for kills.
Yeah, they're going to hunt around in the jungle. Unfortunately for them, they won't find anything. Aloha Dance and Resolution stationed in the mid. And, well, 2 heroes up top. Magnus on the bottom lane, on the run. Will be okay. Illidan picks up that early Oov to go with his phase boots. As looks like we're going to see a wraparound towards the mid lane.
Resolution has got the Wisp back up with a full bottle. Aloha Dancer is full HP, so he can't actually heal Resolution's HP without a bit of overcharge.
They're going to go in here. This is Radiant Vision. They're going to jump right onto Aloha Dance. Silence, stun. They bring him down. Now Resolution on the run. Could be in some trouble. TP into the tower. And always gonna fly will be here to try and keep his friends safe.
Surprised they actually didn't go for the Tiny there. They seemed like they could just silence up the Wisp and then go for the Tiny instead, but went for the safer kill.
Yep.
Maybe thinking they could get both, but everyone was out of mana. There was no second Magic Missile, no second Clap, no second Void. The mana was just not there for the ASUS.Polar side. Yeah, that gives the Centaur a little more time to farm in that safe lane, totally uncontested, and will not rush the Blink Dagger. Instead, grabs that Ring of Health, so it looks like an early Vanguard may be the choice for Silent out of the gate. Okay.
The early Vanguard can be very potent. The earlier you get it, the more effective it is. That damage mitigation, so strong if you get it like 9-10 minutes, you're a beefcake for sure.
I'm surprised with his stun at top and Mag to get low.
Damage, not gonna, for double edge, not gonna find the damage he needs. Mag will use his healing salve and survive.
So Illidan level 6 now. This is where things can get a bit dicey for Empire with fights happening around the map. He is half HP, so this is not a good time to go for a honking. He needs to bring out more regen for himself, which is a bit of an issue. He wants to be able to fight. Haunt mid though. Yeah, Resolution in some trouble, getting hit by the Brew. Aloha Dance is there, healing him up, and will bring out those Wisp balls. They will not dive the tower. Not a successful gank, but Mag on the high ground, ready to rotate in. A little bit of time left on this night cycle, thinking about having to go. And they know Wisp is out of bottle charge, so Resolution only has those 10 stick charges, but
stun from the high ground onto Aloha Dance. Phobos thinking about coming in, tethered to the high ground as Mag hops over. They'll be okay. Stampede used by Silent at the top to ensure their getaway.
Yeah. The big issue right now for ASUS.Polar is Spectre. The Haunt couldn't really go in, didn't have mana for the dagger, didn't have HP as well to put himself in that.
They're going to set this up. There's an RP down here. Soul Catcher's there. And he misses the skewer. Oh, yoky, that was your golden opportunity. And he's going to win. Now FNG comes in. Always want to fly, gets stunned up. yoky has the RP. Does he burn it for a solo venge? No.
Oh, Mag. Oh, yoky, sorry. Oh, I think you just go for the RP. That Shadow Demon disruption, the disruption with the 3 illusions coming out, you don't know which one's which, and it was placed the real hero in such a place that the skewer only caught the 2 illusions, which don't get hit by it. I think you just got to RP Shockwave.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't just RP that.
It's worth it. It's a Spectre. That's the kill. That
and you know he doesn't have Haunt. There's no way he can Haunt away before that RP goes off. He's dead meat. Big misplay from Empire there. Well. So they are still in the lead though, about 1,500 gold, 200 experience, not a huge lead, but this Centaur just topping the net worth chart, and he's on point to have a pretty damn quick Vanguard and Blink duo.
Yeah.
There's the Vanguard picked up here, right around the 8-minute mark as the courier brings it over.
Under attack.
So I guess worried about being just, they know the ASUS.Polar going super early game aggression with this Brewmaster Night Stalker, and if he just has a Blink Dagger against a Blink Brewmaster and a Night Stalker who's going to have an Urn early and the Spectre haunting in, he's worried that he's just going to be food and get picked off. Because he can get the Blink cancelled pretty easily, but still it does limit Empire's ability to fight right now. They've got nothing they can really use. Like, they don't have that fast Blink Centaur to create space with. This is a very defensive item from Silent, and I'm not sure if it's the right one.
Yeah, yoky almost initiated on down bottom. The Spectral Dagger flies through. FNG still not level 6.
Structures are
So not
fortified.
in fear of the swap. We'll just skewer away. There's a lane ward down in the bottom, a fresh one. So they do want to gank this mag and make sure their Spectre stays safe at the same time. Empire will continue to be quiet, though, until they get those Blink Daggers. Relocate, not online yet. Wisp halfway through level 4. But making some progress.
And Illidan also going for a Vanguard himself, but he wants to be able to fight early and just be a lot harder to gank and kill, which, well, there's a big worry about when there's a Centaur with Stampede, the Wisp Tiny relocates.
Yeah.
I like this idea. I think the other option is just go for the Vitality booster and then farm your Radiance, so just get the casual HP and then turn it later into a Heart of Taras, but this is just as fine.
Yeah, the early Vanguard pickup can be great, or it can kind of backfire. Illidan, assuming there's going to be a lot of fighting, I think that's the correct assumption. Empire seeing this, they could choose just to go the farming route, buff up their Tiny, get these stacks going like they have in the jungle, and say, you go the Vanguard, now we're not going to fight. That's just going to be a sunk cost, delaying your Radiance.
Yeah. I think Empire are prepared. This next nighttime, I think, is where we're going to see things get kind of a bit more explosive here. With Night Stalker with an Earned Boots, about to hit level 7 for his Max Void. Brewmaster's going to have his Blink Dagger as well, so Empire are going to be under a lot of pressure.
Walks right into the danger zone, skewers FNG to the low ground, the Stampede. He could actually survive this. Mag, it's nighttime, is going to chase him down. Haunt from the Spectre used. yoky sipping up the bottle. He does have an RP, skewer still down, and he's definitely going to die, but buying himself a lot of time. 4 heroes. And forces out the ultimate from Spectre. So, end of the day, good kill for ASUS.Polar, but it was costly.
Yeah, took a lot of time. Now, I guess at this point, though, they're happy to just commit a lot to get them this really good position for the next nighttime. When 12 minutes hits, things for Empire get risky. They need all the items they can get before then. That's where Resolution, instead of going for a more greedy build like a Rush Acceptor, he's going for drums as fast as possible. He realizes his team needs mobility, especially. Movement speed against the great chasing, diving lineup that ASUS.Polar have is going to be crucial.
Mid lane, there was a smoke from always want to flying Silent, though they won't be able to do anything with it. It gets finished off, and they will just back on out. Tiny working on another stack here. It looks like a triple stack, so Empire being very efficient in the jungle and still finding a gold lead, even though they're behind 3-1, still holding on to that 1,500 net worth lead.
Yeah, both Centaur and Tiny with really nice CS, and as you mentioned, the stacks have been on point the entire game. ASUS.Polar spent a lot more time just moving around the map, trying to find kills. Night Stalker and Vents is kind of support, well, the Night Stalker no support, but this duo that have been very active all over.
Mag up top, who gets sandwiched here. Rotation from the backside is Silent, moves around the trees, but in the Radiant jungle, ASUS.Polar smoked up, and they're going to go for yoky once more. He's got a skewer, might be able to actually survive this. Take a look at the dire vision. In comes Phobos. Skewer back on Phobos, still gets off the split with the Stampede. yoky's going to live.
That Stampede, yoky still staying around though. He didn't just go for the retreat to the tier 2 tower. He's trying to juke and still, this Brew going very deep. He tosses the boulder. How far do they want to go? A TP to the tier 2 tower. yoky still alive. The Brew finds the kill, goes back into Panda Farm, but now gets punished. The Avalanche is there. A relocate from Aloha Dance. Dazzle able to grave, but to what avail? He'll try to TP out. It's going to be close, but he won't make it. Oh boy, Empire punishing ASUS.Polar for their hyper aggression. Yeah, Illidan, a casual Spectral team.
Now on top. Oh no, Illidan, he's got the relocate. He forgot about it. It seems like Mag coming in. He wants to try to bring down Aloha Dance. He's going to commit deep for this as well. Resolution laying in the punches. Aloha Dance with the jukes. Mag, he's on the run. Shadow Poison stacking up. The Wisp Ball's about to hit him, but FNG's there to support, and Mag may still yet survive. Resolution wants to pursue. He's got a toss or an avalanche, one or the other. Silence. Will it be enough to get the win? But now yoky comes in. Down goes the Night Stalker, and FNG left behind, isolated. The toss forward. Silent brings him down. It's a double for yoky. Phobos showing his face, has a blink and will survive, but it's Empire coming out on top.
Top tower is under attack.
The mistake from Illidan. That haunt up top. He's like, sweet, there's an alone Shadow Demon. Let's go, go, go. And it was just not the play to make.
Oh my.
That was the relocate back.
That took me a second. Like, okay, relocate back. They're gonna push this now. I'm like, there's a disrupted target. That's a Spectre. Oh.
I just suddenly see, I saw the Spectre horn. I go to the Spectre. I'm like, what's he doing? Everyone's full HP on the Empire side. Who's he ganking? And then suddenly he pings top lane. I'm like, wait, why is he just relocated to 3 heroes? What's going on? This isn't right.
That was awkward in general from ASUS.Polar. Even just the dive to the tier 2 here for yoky. I mean, yeah, you want to slow down that mag, you want to stop his Blink Dagger, but I feel like that's a really big commitment for just a Magnus.
Well,
Dire's middle tower is
definitely
under
the
attack.
chase onto the Magnus, the wrong call in hindsight. And now Silent gets a
Radiant's
Blink
bottom
Dagger
tower is
up
under
to show
attack.
for it. 30 minutes in, the Blink Vanguard, level 10 as well. Empire looking to fight early game aggression with their own early game aggression.
Yeah, Spectre getting picked off there, though. Now only 700 gold. We're 14 minutes in and not even close to a relic. Empire holding on to about a 4,000 gold lead. Not too shabby for 14 minutes in. Silent always want to fly smoked up, ready to drop the hammer. The Soul Catcher synergizes
Radiant's
so well with the
bottom
burst damage of the
tower is under
Centaur.
attack.
It's pretty hard to survive against
And
them.
looking for Illidan, thinking he was maybe at that jungle camp. It's a pretty common spot to farm, especially with a Vanguard on your Spectre, but
Radiant's middle
they'll see him
tower
now.
is
These
under
swords just
attack.
kind of freshly, they ping him out, but getting to him is another issue here. Silent, Shadow Demon Centaur, one of these beastly combos. Soul Catcher combined with double-edge hoof stomp is insane damage.
Radiant
Up top,
structures are
ASUS.Polar.
fortified.
Defensive weave. Oh no, it's a
Dire's
They
TP.
see everything mid lane.
is under
DK
attack.
Phobos just TP'd in. They're relocating. He
Radiant's
blink
middle
dodges
tower
it.
is under
Oh,
attack.
wow, there's the split. He survives. FNG TP's in. Now it's Empire trying to make the Exodus. Can they actually do it? Aloha Dance stunned up. Relocate back.
It's disrupted.
Okay.
Disruption, relocate out. Nice play by Shadow Demon.
Always want to fly. Will get left
Radiant's
behind.
middle tower
Silent.
is under
Hook stomp
attack.
on 2. They still lose the Shadow Demon, but only a 1-0. Dominates. Oh, what a huge RP from yoky. Here's the AoE damage, but can they clean it up? 2 down. Make it 3. Illidan barely survives. And Resolution in hot pursuit. DK Phobos now left behind. It's going to be
Radiant's
Empire that
middle
level it out.
tower
They've
is
already
under
lost
attack.
3. Can they clear this out? So many low health heroes, but Dazzle with the poison slows down Resolution. The Hadouken! What? Oh my gosh, now Little Hardy. He's going to be in trouble, and Empire. What? He heal bombs the
Are you
Wisp.
kidding me?
What
The
is
throw.
happening in this game?
Lil will get chased down, but just barely. Illidan playing with fire here. Resolution trying to chop on through. Not going to go for the avalanche. Shouldn't be able to hit this. Illidan has vision, and
I am dumbfounded. Back-to-back awkward plays from both sides. A beautiful RP, not enough
Dire's
damage to
bottom
make it
tower is
happen.
under attack.
that was just an insane fight. Deco Phobos, that blink reaction to the relocate where he dodged the Centaur stun was just insane reaction times. Godly reaction times.
Oh boy, we're looking at their vision there, and as soon as the relocate came in, unbelievable reaction. So that fight ends as basically a break even after all that. Empire right where they started, 4,000 gold, about 2,000 experience in their favor. They group up once more in the bottom lane. They see Illidan. There's no haunt, but he's got a dagger. Moving over the tree line. It ends. Now he's isolated, locked down by Tiny. Can they find the kill? He's on the run. And nowhere to go. He's tanky, but not tanky enough. Silence on his way in. Aloha Dance hits him with the ball. Stampede forward, but a blink back on Phobos. This Spectre's in trouble here, gods. 1,400 gold, 60 minutes in. Empire keeping up the aggression, keeping the Spectre down. They will claim a tier 1 tower for a prize.
Yeah, I think Spectre's farm is okay for the timing, considering they wanted to play such an aggressive game using the Spectre. Mid lane, though, FNG going to get caught out. The big problem is Empire, Tiny as well as Centaur. Tiny especially is massive right now.
Stampede. Phobos goes right in on Always Want to Fly. The relocate out. Empire will lose their Shadow Demon. The splits used, but to no avail.
Got the blink out and Silent. He can re-engage here. Maybe look to take a fight here. Tiny and Whisper down bottom lane though, so they can't really help out too much without TPing in, which is both actually have one. They could look to make this play.
Tiny has his Aghanim Scepter, and another beautiful blink from DK Phobos. He is on fire tonight. The Courier will bring out the remaining pieces for the Ags. The siege at the bottom tier 2 will not be successful for Empire, and Resolution makes the call to back it on out as they retreat. The Courier could potentially get sniped here. Moving into the danger zone, no, they rendezvous with it. Now Resolution with that Whomping Willow. There's the haunt. Will he hop to it though? FNG gets stunned. The swap back onto the Wisp. They want to isolate Aloha Dance. Another Hadouken. He still goes down. Silent tries to come in with a hoof stomp, but it's just too little, too late. It'll be a quick pick for ASUS.Polar. Silent now left behind. Out of mana. He's tanky. Can they bring him down? The defensive disruption. RP on 2. yoky stunned, but the skewer's there. They find the kill on the bench. Mag in some trouble. Maybe the next one to go down. Silent still alive, but a beautiful grave buys Mag some time. Now Silent falls. Always Want to Fly. He's going to go go down next. Illidan finally finding the kills that he needs. Meanwhile, on the other side, Dazzle brought down by yoky and Resolution. It's a 3-on-2, and it's Empire on the back foot. Illidan's not done yet. He's going to keep chasing them down. The big boy's in some trouble. Resolution with the avalanche, but it doesn't save the Magnus. This could be a 5-man wipe. A buyback now on the Magnus. Wisp TP's in, saves Resolution. Illidan now isolated the dagger, but the toss, and they punish it. Spectre's down, and Mag's on the run. But it's not over. Relocate. They'll press forward, and it's Empire again coming out ahead.
Oh boy, Resolution, they just got this moment of greed where they saw 4 dead, Resolution in there standing, and then suddenly Wisp respawns, and if they'd seen that timer, realized what was coming their way, they would have reconsidered chasing for Resolution as well. That was an amazing fight for ASUS.Polar. Everything went as good as it could have gone until they tried to get a bit too greedy, getting that kill on the Tiny, and they got punished for it.
Yeah, Empire's still just... as soon as it looks like they're about to go down, they strike back with a buyback, a respawn. Now Tiny pressuring the top tier 1. It will get finished off by the Dire. And DK Phobos, here's the split. Goes in onto Aloha Dance with the Stampede used, and they'll make their exodus once more. It's a wasted Brewmaster split.
Maybe a Wisp. They're not even going to go for the Cyclone Dive. They've learned their lesson from bottom lane at the tier 2. These Stampede saves from the Centaur have... I mean, this has been the hero. It's
prevented at least like 5 deaths so far. Easily.
And just as far as momentum goes, those 5 deaths would have just led to Spectre. He'd probably have like a relic by now. This would just be a completely different game if not for these Stampede saves.
Mag bumps right into Silent, the blink forward. Now the Honk comes in. There's going to be multiple fights breaking out in the river. yoky gets isolated, skewer away, won't live. It's Phobos. Blinks forward. Silent, now silenced and locked down. He will fall. It's going to be a 2-for-0 going to ASUS.Polar. They strike back once more. Always want to fly. Will get dove, stunned under the tower. It's a 3-for-0. Or is it? The disruption. Going to buy him a couple of seconds here, but down.
They're trying to give every kill they can to Illidan. Everyone just stops attacking. The same with the previous kill, which Nightstalker actually got on the Centaur. They just very rarely do you see a team trying to secure every kill for their carry at all costs. But Illidan, like, they need this Radiance as soon as possible. That is top priority. They're going to leave this tower for him, I imagine. Illidan, yep. This is everything about Illidan's Radiance. And you can see the way ASUS.Polar are putting so much priority on his farm, his kills, and his towers.
Well, he's closing in, very close to the relic now. I can't believe the aggression in this game, God. 17-16 and only 21 minutes in. Often when you're 1 game away from defeat, you'll see teams play very passive, very safe, knowing what's on the line. The difference between first and second is a huge amount of money, but these teams, they came to win, and they have the aggression. It's just been a non-stop bloodbath.
Well, Empire maybe have to slow things down a bit here. When they don't have like some of the Centaur Stampede not available for that fight, and you can see what ASUS.Polar can do. Even without a split, it feels like the Centaur Stampede is more important than the Primal Split in a lot of ways this game.
Yeah, Tiny gets a huge stack of Ancients there, now up to about 12,000 net worth. Spectre behind by a 50% margin at only 8K. The Relic's picked up now, but Tiny getting big, closing in on the Manta, Yasha, and Ultimate Orb already secured. So just a recipe away. Other item progression around the map. Magnus, he's had the blink working on the Force Staff. Aloha Dance now moves into the Urn of Shadows to go with his bottom. Now let's take a look at the Radiant side and see what they're working on. Mag, it appears a BKB will be coming out for him. Just a recipe away. And DK Phobos wants to close in on that Aghanim Scepter, has a point booster and a blast, but still pretty far away from completion. Smoke in the mid, they go right in onto Illidan. Silent starts it off, but may get turned on. There's the relocate, now an RP. Nightstalker and Bench, the first to fall. Will Hardy isolated, he does not have a grave. He goes down, it's a fast 3-for-0. Illidan stuck in the tree line. Phobos will get the Shadow Demon, but now Illidan has to make his exodus. A triple kill for yoky. The Brewmaster, the only one left behind, gets another kill onto the Magnus, goes back into panda form, but Silent on the high ground, ready and waiting with a stun to tether over the balls to the face. A full 5-man wipe for Empire. If they can break down Phobos, the clap, buying him the time. He's trying to survive, but the toss secures the kill, and it's Empire coming out ahead once more, gods.
And that is going to be a tier 2 tower, possibly more. They can swing top lane as well. TP in from the bend. This is risky play. Okay. Woo. Yeah, hold on a second, FNG. You don't want to turn that 5-for-0 or 5-for-1 into like a 6-for-1.
Yeah. So that'll slow down the Radiance once more. 23 minutes in, still needs another 1,000 gold for the recipe as Resolution secures another tower. The tier 2 in the mid. FNG with a very aggressive swap. He'll get punished as Silent comes in. A beautiful grave keeps FNG alive. Resolution getting low. Can they actually find the kill here? Mag wants to pursue.
Relocate. 3 seconds, 2 seconds.
Close. It's going to be a close one. The Stampede, but he can't relocate out in time. He doesn't have enough mana. Oh, no.
Oh,
they
that
get a
was
much-needed kill on the
so
Tiny.
close to relocating him out. Spectre's wishing he has Haunt. He used Haunt before he died. If he had it now, he could have got back in for some money and this team fight.
Relocate, they're right back into it, and they get the kill onto the Vengeful Spirit. The action doesn't stop. Mag now on the run. Always want to fly, ready and waiting with the disruption. They set it up, skewer forward, and that Night Stalker will go down. Shockwave to secure it. Illidan comes walking in and goes, uh-oh, I'm trying to get out of here. And he will double back. Empire not interested in pursuing much further.
Oh man, I think if they had a Haunt there, they could have made a lot happen. Even with the Primal Split still on cooldown, his respawn could have, I mean, even just being there for the Tiny kill. That's a big streak that they ended there on the Tiny. He gave Night Stalker a huge chunk of goal out of that. That was his first death of the game. He was 7-0 and 12 before that death.
Wow. Yeah, Night Stalker, yeah, very close to his BKB, right about 300 off. And Magnus completes his 4-stack.
ASUS.Polar still not out of this one. I think they're, I mean, yeah, I agree. They're behind there. Up against the Wisp Tiny, with Empower, this is a really hard to win scary game for them, but the 5,000-6,000 lead...
Look at this Tiny's damage right now, 300 plus 150
that's
with the
a
Empower.
big worry.
That is absurd. He now has the Manta Style complete as well.
The Radiance alone is just not what's going to do it. It's going to be good team fight selection. They've got an Ags on Brew who's going to hit level 16, so Night Stalker's going to have a BKB, which is really important against the stuns and lockdown, the Avalanche, the Centaur stuns. There's so many pesky spells for them to deal with, but I think the really hard thing is just what's happening now. Roshan is going to be in the Empire control. With the lead they have and being on the Dire side, it's so difficult to contest.
About 7,500 gold and experience going to the way of the Dire. Maybe a bit more as they finish off Roche. Resolution grabs the last hit and the Aegis of the Immortal. They've had enough trouble killing that Tiny once, let alone killing him twice.
All right, well, it's let's farm on our side of the map, avoid any kind of crazy fights as long as the Aegis is up on Resolution. They probably have to give up the tier 2 bottom, the tier 2 top. Maybe they try to take a fight when Phobos hits 16, but ideally they just trade some towers and they're going to get tier 1 top. This is actually not too bad for ASUS.Polar, who are in much need of any money they can get. Mag is now just 50 from BKB.
And that's now a BKB onto Phobos, or pardon me, the Aghanim Scepter on Phobos as well. So two key items coming out, which will help in this next team fight. But look at Empire. They don't want to stop anytime soon. They're looking towards the high ground. There's no glyph. This is scary. Look how fast Tiny kills this tower. The weave comes out from Will. Now the Haunt in. The split from Brew. But the Centaur ult to disengage. Aloha Dance gets 4-stabbed. He'll survive for now. Tiny isolated by the tornado. Silent stun. Aloha Dance does go down.
And Illidan's getting the 2 squishy supports. Centaur also dead. Really good decision making. They kill the squishy supports, and there's no damage left. Empire can't do this without their support backline.
It's a 5-man wipe the other way. Tiny's gonna come back up, but they're all still alive. It's the hold that ASUS.Polar needed. Unless Tiny can turn it around with a huge combo. A lot of damage, but no kills. 5 dead, all 5 alive for ASUS.Polar. They may have just turned this around.
Holy shit, that was impressive. They knew exactly what they had to do. They had to get the Wisp. The Brewmaster blinks in to start things off. Empire did everything they could to try get the Wisp out of there. They were force-staffing him. He was tethering back. He got a disruption and everything, but the problem was they used every defensive spell to try save the Wisp, and then Centaur didn't have any protection. Shadow Demon himself didn't have anything to protect himself with. Night Stalker and Spectre just rushed right past Tiny. Said, your Tiny has an Aegis, screw it, we're ignoring him.
That is Empire not respecting ASUS.Polar in this game. They thought they could just walk up to the high ground without a glyph, womp down that tower, and maybe take an easy set of barracks with that Aegis of the Immortal. But now with ASUS.Polar striking back, Empire need to be a lot more careful and execute with a bit more tact than just running into the base.
A lot of things like the Aghanim Scepter on the Brewmaster timing was insane. He gets out so much extra damage with the extra clap. The Drunken Haze as well. He Drunken Haze the Tiny when he was on the high ground hitting the tower. Having Drunken Haze during the split, also incredibly important there. This Ag Scepter, one of those games where we haven't seen the Ag Scepter on Brewmaster all that much, but it is a fantastic choice here. And ASUS.Polar, they still got options to keep on fighting this one.
Yeah, definitely so. Now glancing at the graph, it's still a gold lead for Empire. About 4,000 gold. Experience is leveled out. ASUS.Polar not out of the clear yet, but this is definitely going to help. Spectre getting a lot of gold out of that. Now grabs a Vitality booster. Undoubtedly the progression towards a Heart of Tarrasque.
I think they really need this mech on Aloha Dance soon. Just that little burst heal to keep himself alive as well as teammates, but more than anything, it's himself. I think they probably need more 4-stars, like Shadow Demon needs to farm a 4-star, which he's nowhere near. Mag, he's got one as well as the Centaur, so they've got double 4-stars, which are going to have to be used to help out these supports and the Centaur more than anything. But they also have to just not over-commit any defensive spells to one hero, especially when it's a hero like a Wisp, who sure, the Wisp is important to the Tiny, but at some point, you're just going to say, let the Wisp go. Let him die if he gets really caught out in focus fire.
Yeah. Talked about the Brew Aghanim Scepter, but the BKB on Mag coming out when they finished off that Tier 1 tower top. That tower exchange was so crucial for ASUS.Polar there. 10-second BKB charge, Empire just weren't ready for it.
If that T1 tower doesn't go down, they don't have the BKB, they don't have the Ag Scepter, without maybe like selling some items or something.
Yep, and then that's a totally different fight. Now, the Centaur picks up a Crimson Guard to try and mitigate some more damage as ASUS.Polar smoke up in the bottom lane.
And guess Phobos, he's picked up a quarterstaff. He's going to go Refresher. This is another, he knows his ultimate this game is not, sure, Tiny with cleave damage, it can kind of do well against, but Tiny's going to have to go BKB to deal with the Drunken Haze. Either that or an MKB. I think BKB against the nukes and everything else is probably the better way to go. But this Refresher, if Tiny, I mean, Brewmaster's is not going to have it that soon, but it's going to be a really high impact pickup.
Yeah, it's the Assault Cuirass that Resolution's committed to now. Closing in, but still not there quite yet. BKB could definitely be the next item he picks up, maybe with some BOTs coming on. Empire, they'll smoke up now as they rendezvous near their secret shop. Silent in the front line, showing off that new Crimson Guard. We'll take a look at Dire Vision. They have no eyes on ASUS.Polar. They're going to bump right into him. This could be a big team fight to break out Tiny at the Tier 1 tower, but here's the wraparound. Always want to fly, goes on to Magno. BKB right away. The Haunt comes out. Always want to fly. Maybe the first target to go down, and he does. The Radiance Burn will finish him off. Silent in the middle of the fight. There's the Brew Split. It's Empire in trouble again. Tiny's still alive, but they've already lost two. Now the mech on the Dazzle. Picks up ASUS.Polar. Tiny getting crowd control. He just wants to do the damage, but he can't. Wisp is now down. Tiny's left behind. You kill all of his friends. He suddenly is a lot easier to bring down. It's a 4-0. Again, ASUS.Polar striking back.
This is where that like 7 to 8k gold lead Empire had was not a secure one. This ASUS.Polar team fight around the DK Phobos Brew is damn scary. The Stampede works to protect against the Brew when you're using it defensively, but you try and fight. Sure, you're stampeding in. Guess what? You have to fight the Brewmaster splits, and fighting these splits has not worked the entire game.
Empire just have to coordinate better than that. They had 3 wrapping around the back and then 2 at the tower. They need to initiate with either the Magnus RP, a disruption from the Shadow Demon, or a relocate. They can't run in 50-50 like that and expect to come out on top.
There's just no way for Wisp and Shadow Demon to stay alive in a team fight. Spectre, Haunt with Radiance will always find them. Nightstorm with BKB will always find them. He runs past every core hero to kill these supports first. The Shadow Demon, the Wisp, maybe sometimes they go on the Centaur. The Centaur, despite all these items, is actually looking like a pretty squishy fella. He's not doing all too much in these fights. This trio of heroes with Shadow Demon and Centaur are not getting anything done. Well, 2 of them are dying constantly, and the Centaur are just not getting anything done.
I feel like this Crimson Guard is just not adding much value here. It's really good against summons, but it's just not an obvious game for it. Something like a Blade Mail could have done a lot more. He's being focused down. Then at least he can return some damage or make him think twice.
Yep. Well, Spectre, Heart of Taras coming soon with this Reaver pickup.
Yeah.
At that point, his survivability just becomes insane. Tiny's going to have an AC soon, which is going to be nice and all, but it feels like this is just a Tiny carry game. The Wisp is never really being able to buff up Resolution because of what everyone else on the ASUS.Polar side is doing. So Resolution's going to do a lot on his own. BKB a must pick up after this ACI build, and maybe then Empire can look to do a better team fight. Because this is a Tiny with not just the Wisp, but Empower, remember, as well. That's the other crazy thing. This Tiny's not getting kills now that we're in this mid-game.
They just crowd control him. The strategy is put the Tiny in the Tornado and kill all of his friends. And then we can just gang up on him, 4v1, 5v1, what have you. Another smoke from ASUS.Polar. They find always want to fly. They bring him down right away. Empire, do they jump in here or do they back out? It looks like it's the latter. Illidan haunts in.
Awkward dagger. I'm not sure where that dagger was going.
Aloha Dance tethers to the Tiny, and looks like they will be able to get away.
Yeah. Well, they're still chasing.
TP out
they're trying to force her maybe a relocate. Okay, Wisp also has a TP.
Yep. And they'll both survive. Nicely done by Empire there. So just the death on the Shadow Demon, nothing game-breaking at this point.
A smoke and a haunt, but I mean, for ASUS.Polar, they'll just say, okay, that wasn't the outcome we were hoping for, but now we go back to farming. Brew's Refresher, he's more than halfway there. The Heart of Taras coming soon as well, as mentioned.
Yeah, Phobos, level 18. Ooh, he's going to be
attack.
scary with that double ultimate. The defensive weave flies through as Illidan moves up to the high ground. Roche not coming up anytime soon, so he can pass that initial timer.
Should be probably pushing out the top lane. I guess Spectre can't really push out top lane because he doesn't have Haunt. He wants to be ready to fight and no one really can afford to go top lane because there's constant action here. Empire will take any opportunity they can to go for a fight now that there's no Horn up.
Tiny closing in on the Assault Cross, but Wisp hit by the dagger. Stampede used to buy Aloha Dance some time. He does not have a TP. Long-range tether to Resolution. Looks like he'll be able to make it out, but meanwhile on the other side, always want to fly again. Left behind, gets off the disruption on the Phobos, but still falls. Okay.
Empire just unable to, like, they can't take objectives anymore. They are hoping that ASUS.Polar tries split up a bit more so they can go for pickoffs using like the Centaur and the relocates, but haven't been able to do anything. And all these kills they've been giving away has suddenly turned this game around. It's ASUS.Polar with a gold advantage, with a massive
Radiant's
XP
top
advantage,
tower
and
is under attack.
Yeah. Empire just not coordinating. We've seen a couple of fights now where yoky hasn't been able to use the RP. A lot of that is because he can't find a good opening to actually use it to much avail, but to me that means Empire, maybe they need to be the aggressors that smoke up and actually move his 5 to try and catch them off guard.
I think they want Roshan again. They want to try...
And a BKB on yoky. Maybe that's what they were waiting for.
BKB on Resolution. He goes to the AC, which is fine. You want to get this eventually, but until he has a BKB, you mentioned the Cyclone. Every single fight, Brewer's throwing up in the air with the Cyclone. If not that, it's the Drunken Haze. He cannot fight without a BKB. He's doing no damage. The evasion, the Cyclones, he's being dealt with perfectly by ASUS.Polar. And I'm perplexed he didn't go for a BKB before the AC. The AC is a fantastic item on a Tiny, but he desperately needs BKB.
Yeah. Well, luckily for Empire, Tiny is still strong in the late game, still farming higher than the Spectre, so they can afford to sit back and farm a little bit longer. ASUS.Polar probably not going to close this one out before Tiny can farm up Magic Immunity, though he does now have the Heart of Tarask, and that'll put Spectre at about 2,500 HP alongside the Vanguard. Down bottom, Resolution and Aloha Dance starting to pressure the base, and ASUS.Polar are going to have to decide how they want to handle this. Rosh up in about 8 seconds. Empire hoping that they'll just TP back, and then they can secure the Roshan pit.
Bottom tower
You're asking how the late game kind of matches up with Tiny versus Spectre. We're there now. This is going to be constant split, but Resolution gets a tier 3 even.
Easy.
Just walks in.
Illidan TP's back.
Yeah. And the burst damage not really there, so they're pretty reliant that they can get a relocate out from the Wish should they need it, and they're actually going to go once again in the bottom lane. Or at least stick around. It's going to be constant split push, make ASUS.Polar uncomfortable with the pressure you apply to the lanes without taking fights. It's pressure without fighting.
Always want to fly, moving around in the dire jungle, all by his lonesome. And it looks like ASUS.Polar will TP back. They know that their barracks are exposed now. The range barracks even down to half health. They have a glyph, but respecting the power of the Tiny with Empower, knowing how quickly he can flash push structures. Illidan, it's like 4-on-4, no Dazzle, no Shadow Demon.
Is under attack.
Yeah,
but Empire will just back up.
Illidan's heart just gives him too much survivability at this point. I guess if you'd use RP with the Tiny, you can maybe kill him off, but probably takes a bit too much to be able to fight him. And well, guess what? He's got all the backup in the world, so there's no killing him here. This Venge Dazzle support duo is just incredible late game. That's, I think, part of the reason ASUS.Polar like picking these supports. We saw their average match time link, and it's like 42 minutes, higher than almost any team here. And they pick supports which do amazingly well in the late game.
Yeah, you're right. Dazzle, Venge don't fall off nearly as hard as some other supports. Weave, always strong, Shallow Grave, Swap, these abilities that no hero level. Rosh has respawned, Wisp scouted it out. ASUS.Polar have not scouted it out, though. Of course, aware of the timing and know it could be right around the corner. Here's the smoke from Empire, and I think they're going to try to sneak into the pit. Yeah, they ping it out.
Okay, it's a risky move. Illidan, he's nearby, has used a dagger already, and I'll see them for now. I think they see... The problem is ASUS.Polar right now are really close by, so if they just ran at Roshan, Empire get team wiped again, most likely.
Silent, not nearby, will TP to the tier 3. Looking at Radiant Vision, they don't see anyone. Resolution smoke gets broken, the jig is up, and Phobos will blink back to safety.
All right. But Mag's AC as well, going to match the Tiny one at about 500.
Oh, RP on 2, Will Hardy and FNG in trouble. They get cleaned down by the Tiny. Stampede uses Illidan, punts right into the fray. Oh no, that could be costly. Now Phobos comes in, toss up on Always Wanna Fly, and these Broodlings gonna do a lot of damage here. Illidan trying to reinitiate, they get the kill onto the Shadow Demon. BKB's popped plenty for the Dire. Mag trying to do what he can, but it's Illidan locked down and brought down. It's a 1-for-3, now Mag on the run, and he will be punished. Resolution silenced. Now Mag uses the BKB. Maybe this will be his exodus, finds an invisibility rune. What a locker.
They have a gem. They have a gem on the center. They're going to go forward with this.
And yep, there you go. They get it. It's a 1-for-4. Empire finally strike back and take the team fight they need on the back of a beautiful RP from yoky.
The support's getting caught there. What a catastrophe. That that's kind of one of those plays where it's like it's been a long day for ASUS.Polar. They played that first BO3, but that is not one of those plays that they'd normally be making. They were just in no man's land. Never in any game should the two supports be on the front lines like that, getting caught in a
Dire's
two-hero
bottom
RP.
tower is under attack.
Now Roche available, and
Radiant's
Resolution
top
just walks
tower
right
is
into the
under
pit.
attack.
With the two core heroes still down for about 20 seconds, he'll be able to just whomp down Roche, and now the Aegis of the Immortal will come right back into his hands. 4,200 gold up on the Tiny right now. Yep. That BKB could be right around the corner, guys.
And I think Empire, yoky making a great play there with that RP, and I think he's realizing, like, first opportunity that he can get a good RP off, kill one, even if it's just for one hero, well worth it. Because once the Spectre haunts, he's not getting off a blink RP. He's not finding an RP in a team fight. And that's been the big issue for the last 3 team fights where Empire got team wiped before the one we just saw there. It's been yoky just having his blink countered by the Spectre haunt and just constantly getting pestered by the Radiant. So he's going to be looking for the earliest possible RP. Supports are actually great targets. These are high-impact supports, as we've said. So you take out the Venge, the Dazzle, Spectre is a whole lot more vulnerable. It's basically what ASUS.Polar did to win those team fights. You take out the Shadow Demon, you take out the Wisp, and then everything else is easy. Empire realized, oh, we just got to do the same thing.
Now glancing at the graph, Empire pulling back into the lead in this roller coaster of a net worth graph. Only about 5,000 gold, nothing insurmountable here. 38 minutes in as it's 32 to 27. Night Stalker's Assault Cross right around the corner, and Phobos with the big pickup, the Refresher Orb.
Ooh, this is... I mean, and this would not have changed that last fight, so you're still going to fight smart. It does mean they have much more uptime, so they can take a fight, only have only get maybe 1 kill and then have that second ultimate for another fight shortly after. That's really the big boost of the Refresher Orb. It doesn't mean they can take those crazy bad fights like they just did, but it means they can, yeah, they just be constantly more active.
Tiny does indeed commit to the BKB. Still plenty of gold for buyback if necessary. Aegis of the Immortal with a long duration still to go. Only about a minute and a half into the 5. With a BKB on Tiny, I feel like ASUS.Polar have to be very, very careful how they initiate this next fight.
This is a big pickup, and again, it's take out the supports, and Venge and Dazzle, their positioning has to be very cautious because they're not needed to kill those supports. They can stay way back. The Night Stalker runs in with his BKB. Part of the problem is that first few fights going their way, Night Stalker has his full 10-second BKB, so he BKB's charging past Tiny and still has a few seconds left on it, but
down to 7 seconds.
Yeah, having a short BKB, this is one of those games where it will matter, for Mag on the Night Stalker especially.
Yep, he'll use Darkness as they pressure up top. That tier 2 tower still standing. Empire grouped up as 5 in the bottom right now. That's the lane where the barracks are exposed, the range about at half health. Both sides on opposite quadrants of the map, and we'll see how it transpires. Empire, they want to be the aggressors though and put that Aegis of the Immortal to good use. Well, what do ASUS.Polar have to deal with the BKB Tiny? I mean, I feel like this next fight, if they get caught out at all, if there's a relocate, Resolution can just cleave down the entire team.
I think you have to try kite it around, kite around the BKB and force the BKB early. If someone like DK Phobos goes blinking in with a very early ultimate, Resolution either just says, okay, I'm going to get thrown up in the air by a Cyclone, or if he BKBs for it, he's not going to have a target to hit. He may try clean out the Bruce splits, but one of them has Windwalk and can try get away. You've got the Firearm, which is max movement speed, so there's no real guarantees of kills there. So I think it's all about forcing him to BKB early and then kite around it, or just try jump him such that you can still get him in the Cyclone and take a team fight.
Yeah. Spectre 3,600 gold. 2 minutes left on the Aegis here. What do you think Illidan goes for next?
It's not a bad BKB game, to be honest. It's not like a conventional Spectre
game. I mean, Tiny's having some slot issues. He could go for MKB with that last item.
There's a lot of cleave damage.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Cleave is...
this is just such a nice BKB game, I feel.
Okay.
The Craggy is really pesky to deal with if he ever wants to try and fight the Tiny.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tiny just clearing out this tower through the backdoor protection.
Radiant's
He
top
knows no
tower
backdoor.
Otherwise, like a Manta style is okay for him.
Good, not
pick
great.
up a Blade of Alacrity, so maybe a Diffusal coming, but right now it's all about the buyback more than anything.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Could be the Manta too. Tiny with a lot of illusions in here. That's one of the great things about the Shadow Demon at this stage in the game. You can just abuse illusions. That's risk-free damage on that tower, and it's a pretty good little chunk.
So I like what Aloha Dance has done with his Wisp. He's sitting on 1,800 HP. He's gone for stats over leveling up Tether. I think this is still a level 1 Tether. We'll see once it expires. Yeah, he's level 1 Tether.
6 points in stats now as he dings 18.
Yeah, so he's got Ghost Scepter, Mech, Urn, Wand, everything he can, Strength Threats even, all that boosting up his HP because he realized everything ASUS.Polar are going to do is run past everyone to try and, at all costs, kill the Wisp. So rather than, like, he's not the team medic, he's the guy who needs protection more than anyone right now, so the right build to go for. He may go for something like a BKB after this, pick up an Ogre Club when he can, but for now he's pretty happy with where he is as far as survivability goes.
yoky Magnus looking for a refresher, Perseverance, and 2,400 gold. Not that far away. Double RP, always a threat and something to be afraid of. Both teams now starting to respect one another a little more. 32-27. It's been a bloodbath, but things slowing down as both sides farm up their last round of core items and try to wait for the other to make that fatal misstep.
Yeah, Resolution going to fill his last slot with an MKB, so he can deal with the Drunken Haze outside of the BKB. Can also deal with the Brewmaster General Evasion and a potential Spectre Butterfly, but I think Spectre should have a pretty good idea that Resolution will be building an MKB regardless this game, just because of the Brew.
Yeah, the Drunken Haze and then the Night Stalker on top of it, it's notable for sure, even with the BKB.
Top lane we go, but these are heroes being spotted here. Good vision for Empire, at least at the top lane. They're only ward right now, it looks like, and that actually scouts out multiple heroes heading top, so they have a pretty good idea of where ASUS.Polar are on the map.
Yeah, Resolution just moves into the Radiant jungle, continues cleaving down these neutrals. Centaur getting his next core item, and that's the Shiva's Guard.
Okay, I like this pickup. Centaur, pretty beastly late gamer too. I mean, talk about sieging towers with Illusion. Centaur getting return damage, and if he gets like a Heart of Tarrasque as his last item, this is a very tanky Centaur, although doesn't really have the item slots per se to actually fit that one in. And for now, Empire, we're really at this big stalemate. Neither team feels confident they can do anything. The big issue for ASUS.Polar is they're not doing much. It means they're giving up the next Roshan for free to Empire. I don't think that's the biggest deal. Resolution's kind of maxed out. If he wants the MKB, he can't take the Aegis, perhaps. So if we do get to that stage where the Aegis may be given to someone like yoky on the Mag.
yoky on the Mag. The Wisp has been focused a lot. You can just give the Aegis to the Wisp. It's a little unconventional, but he's been the prime target that ASUS focused.
I'm all for that. I think that wouldn't be too shabby of an idea.
And this will be next Roche with Cheese, so maybe they could also just give the Cheese to the Wisp. And a lot of options for Empire. Roche will be up, I think, in about 3 minutes. We saw that timer. It's going to be a pretty quick respawn. Definitely not the maximum.
So Diffusal picked up for Illidan. Good damage off of this. The level 2 Diffusal especially gives 35 Agi, one of the most kind of cost-effective Agi items, and a counter to the Ghost Scepter of the Wisp. This Wisp is so important that Illidan was... I feel like that's the main reason this Diffusal was purchased.
Probably.
Also, you can get rid of the Empower, so if you're fighting the tiny bit... Out Illidan, RP, skewer back, let that swap! Oh man, Resolution with the BKB on, just cleaning down Illidan. Beautiful grave, but can they actually turn this around? The first flip from the blue is used. Illidan loses the grave, he's the first to go down. Instant buyback, on into the fight. There it is. And Empire just need to reset things a little bit here. Aloha Dance getting low in the backlines, but he's still alive. Illidan going deep for this. He gets the kill on the Wisp. Resolution stunned up. His BKB's on cooldown. Illidan very low. If he dies here, the dieback will be costly. Always let it fly. Goes down. Illidan running out of options. Resolution on the other side. The second brew split used. They isolate Resolution. He falls. He's got no buyback. Oh no, we went all in on the MKBs. 200 gold short. The buyback haunt crippling Empire. It's a 1 for 3. That refresher Brewmaster ultimate as well. This brew from DK Phobos is just going beast mode. That swap mid-skewer also meant that the teamfight happened in a much more favorable position for ASUS.Polar. They didn't have to go jumping really far away to take the fight. It was taken around where they were already grouped up as 5.
This game without the Tiny, he's down for 55.
They haven't got the best base-killing lineup. They're going to go for multiple lanes of racks, which is the safer way to go. But refresher, RP, catches only Mag. Is it enough? Swap on yoky again with the BKBs there. FNG isolated, but he's pretty tanky. Mid lane of barracks go down, and this will at least keep Empire in the game. Ace is happy to get the barracks, and we'll just retreat off that. Disruption will catch out Lil, and he's going to be the sacrificial lamb. Not getting another lane of Rex. That's the really good news. Oh, great. I guess he had no TP, but if he had a TP, it would have been a cute little save. But
okay, so again, ASUS.Polar striking back here and keeping themselves in this game right when it looks like Empire is getting that momentum. 1 lane of barracks, not crippling yet. Tiny, one of the better heroes at dealing with AoE creep clear.
Just 1 lane of Raxo, so Empire's still going to look at this stage, when you go to Tiny and all that, this is not exactly that big a damage you just took. A Spectre buyback for a lane of Rax, obviously they'll keep taking that chain.
On the Wisp, Aloha Dance about to be hunted here, gets silenced, force staff from the Centaur to buy him some space. Silence says, see ya, I'm keeping myself alive, and we're going to disengage.
ASUS.Polar won that Game 5 decider here.
Absolutely, and they are playing like they want it. Refresher on the Mag, down for another 2 minutes. Tiny has respawned though.
They will hold ASUS.Polar would love a Roshan right now. They're going to be poking in a little too early, though.
30 seconds here. Wisp will be up in 20.
They'll have a little window without the Wisp, and Tiny already sending Illusions to try to scout it out. They don't know the Roshan timer.
Yeah, middle of the road, and ASUS.Polar will not hang around for any undue time. They get a ward up on the high ground, both teams with vision in this valuable area.
Well, Mag now 4K got on his Night Stalker. A late game Acceptor could be very potent for him, although buyback, of course, is always going to be the name of the game. And I think for ASUS.Polar, risking Roshan when Illidan doesn't have buyback is just a non-option almost. I think that'd be more confident defending the high ground than trying to contest a Roshan. Like, that's a game loser. You're against Wisp Tiny. You lose a fight, it's all over. There's no coming back at that point.
100%. It just takes one good RP, one good relocate, hell, even just one good disruption to set up on that Illidan, and that could very well be game. He's their big damage dealer. He's the core of their net worth next to the Brewmaster. They need him alive. Roche, respawn, ready to hand out.
Are they risking this? This is a big call to make here.
Dire have no vision in this area now.
The good news.
This side of the pit, so they can't confirm it. And this risk may well pay off. Here's the movement, though. Silent on his way over. Nope, doubles back.
Illidan, like, walks past the Dire ward here, so Dire may be like, where are they?
They smoke. This is going to be close. I think ASUS can finish off Roche in time.
Roshan
They can. Aegis of the Immortal. Not picked up. It's on the ground. Oh, no. The Aegis still has to be grabbed and snatched by the Centaur. ASUS about to get punished. They could be on their last leg. But Vengeful Spirit, the first one to go down. Illidan just trying to live. Mag will get left behind. BKB on. Will not be able to survive. It's a 1-for-2. Lil Hardy on the run. Oh boy, Brew still in split form. He's going to get locked down. The Grave buys him some time to get back into Panda form. Will it? It's a close call to blink back, but FOMO still punished, and RP used to secure the kill. Oh boy, what's the buyback status here, Parker?
They have it, but that was just like everything going wrong. I don't know what it was. That was the biggest just brain fart of all. This Illidan Spectre, there's this little spot where that ward was. He got trapped in trees. He was just trapped like right here. Dazzle had to leave the Roshan pit to come force-staff him out, and that's while the fight was going on. It was a 5v3 with Spectre and Dazzle not even in the fight because of that.
Oh boy, no on Spectre. Brew buys back, has the refresher.
I think the buybacks alone will force Empire off because they don't have the Aegis. They don't want to just... End of the day, they say this is a win for us. We just forced 2 buybacks. Let's just back off, look for another good fight. The fact they could do that, I mean, looking at ASUS.Polar's vision on the map, they have amazing vision for this stage. 50 minutes in, they've got wards around the Roshan pit, around their own jungle, around mid lane, and still, Empire find a fantastic opportunity to engage.
Yeah, now they rendezvous, all 5 of them group up. They're topped off, cooldown starting to come back.
Refresher Spectre coming up. I like this pickup. Having double Haunt here, the 7-second duration, this is just gonna, this is like a guaranteed kills, like a Zeus Ags refresher in the late game against someone like a Shadow Demon. He's just dead almost from full HP.
yoky will have an RP up in 20 seconds. He has the refresher available already. Tiny, everything he needs to make this happen.
Illidan just needs to farm this last camp. He's like, I'm so close, guys. I'm 8 gold short. Here we go.
All right, he picks it up.
That's
there are
camp.
3 buybacks down for ASUS.Polar. All of the cores, their glyph is standing. Illusions come in to finish off the range barracks. Silent hops forward. There's your first haunt. They disengage, they back Stampede, swap onto Silent, but he's BKB'd, he's okay for now. Empire will back out, there's your second haunt. ASUS, they really want this, and it could be costly. Now they reinitiate, they go on to Bomos before he can BKB. The Grave buys him some time. He gets off the first split. Now Aloha Dan, stunned up. Mag goes in, BKB on. The Wisp stays alive with the defensive disruption. Now the RP. ASUS getting cleaned up. Night Stalker. Brewmaster down. No buybacks available. Illidan barely alive. The force step out. The next RP. ASUS.Polar cleaned up. It's Empire, but they're all low. Spectre, the Rampage! Resolution!
Oh my fucking god!
That's the game. Empire.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Fighting tooth, nail, and claw to try and get through Empire. That Spectre did so much damage in the last second with the Grave. Resolution with like 300 HP. He did have a buyback anyway, so I think even if he got the kill on the Tiny, it wouldn't be enough.
ASUS.Polar will hang in till the bitter end, but this is it. They have no buybacks. They're all dead. The tier 4s go down, and it will be Empire that take first place at the Starladder Season 11 Land Finals. What a game to end this tournament, God. My God. Vector, back. He's going to kill Resolution, maybe. Can he actually do this? He kills the Tiny. He's chopping that wood. He's chopping the wood, but he dies. It's not over yet.
Can he stop Resolution?
Oh, Resolution's here. He's got the Whopping Willow, and they do it. It's Empire coming out on top. What an insane match. I have not seen a game that back and forth in a long, long time. A series, a tournament of 2-0s all the way. And in our finals, we get one of the best matches I've ever had the pleasure of casting.
Your champions, Team Empire, and through and through, the most well-rounded team, incredible talent. The young players on this team stepped up their game, and well, everything about that match was just phenomenal.